Well, we have the chief sports writer with the Irish Daily Star here, Kieran Cunningham, for a neutral point of view. I know that's stretching it somewhat, Kieran, because obviously a Donegal man first and foremost. But let's put on your hat now of working for a national paper, looking at the Ulster Championship final. Third year in a row, Donegal, Monaghan, a tough one to call.
It's a very tough one to call. The bookies and most analysts seem to be going for Donegal as favourites, but you would have to think it's 50-50 because historically Monaghan have always given Donegal problems no matter what kind of game, if it's league, McKenna Cup, championship. Last year Donegal did beat them for the first time since 79 the championship, and it was a tight enough game. There's only 3 points in it. I know Donegal dominated and they let in a goal that they wouldn't have expected let in goal, but it just shows you Monaghan on one of their poorer days still got very close to Donegal.
Yeah, and those historical things are significant because it gets into players' minds as well, Kieran. No matter how much time's moved on, it's still a factor there.
Yeah, it helps in a psychological sense. It helps Monaghan, and I know it sounds like a cliche, they have no fear of Donegal, but they don't, because they look at their record and they think, generally we match these fellas. I know there've been days like that day in the league in Letterkenny that they were depleted, and Conor McManus went off to a black card in the first half and they still won. So they look at it and say, why should we fear these fellas?
Yeah. Donegal had something to prove last year, I suppose, after the defeat in 2013, and did it in style, as you say, and probably were better than the 3-point victory. But we're back to a clean sheet this year because what's gone's gone.
It is gone, and different players always come to fore on different days. Like if you look back at last year's Ulster fine, like Ryan McHugh was man of the match. This year, Owen McNeilis might have a big game. It might be Patrick McBrearty, it might be Paddy McGrath. You don't know, or it could be one of the Monaghan fellas. Like that's generally somebody is talked up after their last performance, but the next day it's often somebody else who steps up.
Yeah, we'd love to think it'll be a classic, and I was mentioning this to Rory Gallagher earlier on. But history would show that these matches between Donegal and Monaghan are tight physical affairs, and particularly with so much at stake, we can't expect too much flow in football.
No, but I think you'll still see patches of very good football, and it'll be very tight and intense and compelling. I think it'll be very hard to drag your eyes away from it because there'll be a lot going on all over the pitch. Even when a few fellas that come off the bench, like Dick Clarkin will make his entrance, and then he'll make his presence felt once he comes on. And there'll be you won't be bored watching it anyway.
That's for sure. A lot of talk this year about the role Michael Murphy's played with Donegal, and you'll know as well as anybody here in Donegal, Kieran, there is a strong body of opinion that he should be close to goal, or closer to goal. He's more dangerous there. Rory has used him in a different type of a role, but tactically he's going to have to get this right as well, because he's got good forwards, and we've seen in the past that if they get quality ball in, they can cause a lot of problems.
Yeah, I think you'll see what you've seen from Michael the last couple of years. He'll be mix and match, but most of the game I would expect him to be out the middle of the field. And I think Monaghan will man mark him, like they'll try and do what Justin McMahon did in the first game.
Yeah.
But no, we see Michael Murphy still won that match for Donegal, and the last day, first half against Derry, he wasn't at his best, but he kicked 2 incredible points and showed leadership when it was really needed. That's a mark of a truly great player. That on the days when things aren't going for them, it still comes up with the big moments.
Yeah, and Kieran, no matter what happens on Sunday, both teams are through to the last 12 of the All-Ireland. But I mean, Rory Gallagher said it to me, and the players say it to you as well. They want to continue through the front door. It makes things a little bit easier. But a defeat wouldn't be the end of the world, but a victory sets you up nicely for Croke Park on the second weekend in August.
It wouldn't be the end of the world, but it would make things very difficult. And the first thing is you really want to win the Ulster Championship because of the route. It's always a big prize, and particularly because of the route this year. Coming up for the preliminary round, to beat 3 Division 1 teams and a team that was in All-Ireland quarter-final last year away from home, it would be a brilliant competition to win. And it's something you'd always remember. The other thing is, if you lose and you go into qualifier, you might get through the qualifier, but you'll be deflated, and more than likely you'll be playing Mayo in All-Ireland quarter-final, which would be very, very tough.
Yeah. Are you confident Donegal can win?
They can win. I wouldn't say they will win, but I think they can win. And if I had to go back anybody, I would back Donegal.